Hello, welcome back for round 3. I actually did a stream between round 2 and now, so I want to take a moment to just kind of look over this deck and make sure I remember what we're doing. 'Twas a good stream, 5-0'd a modern PTQ with Jun, so I'm going to be streaming that this weekend, which will have already happened by the time this video goes up, now that I think about it. But if you dig what I'm doing here, maybe consider coming by the stream. It's at twitch.tv/Simulan. I would love to have you. The channel combo looks a little bit cute now upon reflection. I do think having the skull clamp in here is correct. But I mean, it's cube. You're supposed to do stupid stuff. We're trying to ramp out big things or natural order out big things. I can wrap my brain around that. It works. Right, Dutch? That's right. What a handsome fat kitty you are. All right, here we go for round 3. I am Murloc. I am more than a fish. I am more than a man. Sorry, I'm a nerd of many colors. Alrighty. Had a chat with my opponent. They're a stream viewer, which is cool. I dig their screen name. So what are we doing here? We're kind of hoping we draw channel. Channel looks really good. I mean, I guess I keep it. It's got live draws. It has an elf and lands. It's not doing anything broken unless I hit the channel, but it may not be good enough for powered cube. That's a good way to handle a mulligan. You land not exactly the droid I'm looking for, but that's okay. That's okay. We can, as long as we know how to love, I know we'll be alive. Channel. Or forest. I think the least scary thing you can do with an Arbor Elf is attack with it. They play an artifact. We can get them. Get them! Oh god, Ashiok. That's kind of game over, man. That's kind of game over. At least they got some forests out of the way. Where were you last turn when you could have done something? Womp, womp, womp. Okay, I guess we attack Ashiok for 1 and are sad. Like natural order, we can kill Ashiok. Things can happen. I'm probably going to have to jam a Conclave Naturalist just to threaten it. Like, I guess best case scenario is they play a 3-mana artifact that doesn't do anything. Because, like, Ashiok's ultimate will kill me. To be fair, just flirping out a Mana Gorger Hydra looks pretty good, right, Meow? Although I could trade an elf for Ashiok at that point, so they may not want to do that. Sheldock Owl is very good in cube. It is a fantastic spell. Okay. The Cradle would have been a good draw. The other forest, not so much. I'm kind of hoping for a nice 4-mana threat, because I'm a little bit terrified of a counterspell here, but I suppose there's not much I can do about it, that right, Meow? Like, the Naturalist threatens Ashiok a little bit better. I suppose I should try for that. Because, like, right now, that's what the game is resolving around. I can still handle a problematic artifact with Freyleys. I was just playing around Daze or Force Spike there. Because, like, this does technically give us enough power to stop her next turn. Oh, God. God! No! Snapcaster Ancestral? That's so dirty. That's so dirty. Yeah, when I said this hand is not good enough in powered cube, this is kind of what I meant. I mean, they've drawn, what, 6 more cards than me now? And are directly attacking my library. Also, now their Shelldock Isle is on. Just brutal hits. So whatever's under that Shelldock Isle, I'm probably not happy about. Kozilek, like, drawing channel is still very reasonable. So it's not like we're out of this. But it's not exactly like we're in it. Hey, look, they took 2 damage. We're winning. Chase, you say? Chase plus. Okay. Didn't want to reveal what they drew. I can appreciate that. So how far am I off from that? Because that starts to do something. This is 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can cast that next turn. We're going to have to Freyleys this turn. And I guess hit Ashiok. It's -10. So like we could hit Jace to 2, or we could try to combat Ashiok. Like, we've still got Woodfall Primus in the deck and the mana to cast it. That's attacking with the Arbor Elf doesn't do anything, but... Yeah, I think I have to hit Ashiok here, even though I really don't want to. Because if they defend her... Like, let's say they kill this and then uptick Jace again, I have no game against her ultimate. I just can't stop it. I'd like to, but I can't. They're getting darn close to just milling me out with her anyway. But sure, that was not particularly relevant. Still have Homie McHomeslice in the deck to draw. And like, a plant with a bunch of tokens ain't bad. That into Kozilek does something. No longer playing around Force Spike or Daze, I guess. Like, the tokens have to be 2 power to do anything. Yeah, I would like to use that ability. For the same reasoning, I'm going against Ashiok, although Jace is starting to become a problem too. This is like a Wrath of God or something. We're just done. Oh, that's from the modern thing I just did in the stream. So there's the constructed token. Cool. Finished number 2 in the ranks. Feels good. Where's the actual game that I'm playing? There it is. So they activate Shelldock Isle and not do anything? That would insinuate that it's a land. The one land in your turn still matters there. Yeah, it was a land. I tried to do that once too, is the only reason I know that interaction. All right, there's that dream. Was a good dream. What? Oh. Just Wrath of God. That's all. It is nothing I can do about that. Let's see, we're at 6, 7. I think I should go one more turn because they have not yet exiled the Primus. Yeah, and neither of them are ultimating yet. So if Primus is the top card of my library and they don't have a counterspell. Oh, no, they activated it and still didn't play what was under it. That's weird. Presumably, well, I can't beat Oblivion Ring. I just can't. So if this goes for like Elish Norn combo, I can actually sort of do something about that. Okay, still didn't hit her. So if the top card is Primus, we're going to keep playing. If it's not, we're going to scoop them up and just not reveal that we have one. Like, they've seen enough to know what we're up to here. Okay, not that that's easy to beat either, but it could be a thing. I'm not exactly sure how we stop them with 8 cards left. I guess something land drops Kozilek. Yeah, unfortunately Channel would have been good really early, but it's not good now. If I channel him out and draw 3, then Ashiok just kills me if he ticks it again. So we're done here. Nothing to see here, move along. So Wrath of God is particularly good against my deck, and I don't know that there's much I can do about it. The Kozilek Channel play may be a little too cute. Like, if we take that out and bring in something like Winter Orb, that's going to be way better for me than it is for them. And I could play the Mind Twist game. I'm kind of down with that. Like, it feels bad. Maybe I should keep that on the play. I don't think so. I think we can do something. Like, these cards are pretty good against what they're doing. And it's fairly easy for me to get them in here. Like, let's give this a go. I think this configuration may legitimately be better against them. And also keeping a hand that's not just not good enough for Powered Cube. Like, that hand looks reasonable in a Vintage Cube or something. You're like, hey, I've got some stuff and some things. But your hand kind of needs to do something. All right. This has a very similar problem, but I kind of think I can keep this one. I think the Winter Orb's going to mess with them more than it is me. I don't know that I'm jamming it on turn 2. I might. We're going to need a little bit of soda before we make all of our decisions. Like, drawing a Mana Elf probably stops me from doing it. It's weird because, like, I want to slow the game down, but I also don't want to slow the game down. It's a weird hand. I think I just did it again. I talked myself into a hand that isn't necessarily going to do much, but we will see. Yes, we will see. Yeah, turn 2 orb doesn't do much here. I want to resolve the orb when they're tapped out. Or when I have something on the board that's relevant, like Mana Gorge or Hydra. What a weird draw. Like, Arbor Elf, Mana Gorger, Arbor Elf and Winter Orb is not a terrible play this turn. Like, I can recover faster. I'd really like to Naturalist that next turn. And I'd also really like to have the Mana Gorger Hydra in play the whole time. Like, I'm cutting myself off of essentially 2 lands, and then I can play the Courser. I think I need to do this. I think I can recover from this faster than they can. I've got to hit a land. Or it's just dumb, but... If there's a land on top, I'm in business. It should be better for me. We'll see. I may have pulled the trigger on that too early. I wouldn't have hated doing Hydra and then playing those. Take my orb. Thank you. Actually perfect. So what I can do here, which I think I like, is just jam the naturals, blowing up the O-ring. Because I'm certainly recovering faster from this than they are. Rex Sage 2, I like it. I don't want to walk this guy into a Snapcaster. Blowing up their Signet next turn is pretty exciting. Not to mention I can end of turn untap a forest. And then just untap with a bunch of mana. But blowing up their signets are pretty appealing. Okay. I don't like seeing a tutor, but with any luck, we'll eat that signet. And they won't be able to cast whatever they're planning on next turn because they'll be a mana short. Two tutors. So they've got a nice toolbox deck there. I can kind of go get whatever they want. Ancestral, okay. You're going to have some lands. I guess that's what you always tutor for. Oh man, just natural order, then blow up your thing. I kind of like that. And then I still have a Reclamation Sage for if they have like a Journey to Nowhere. Like part of me wants to go with the value play here, but like natural order now is so good that I think I just want to do it. It leaves me with a bunch of crap on board. It's really terrible if they drew Days, specifically. Because I basically put myself in a position of, I don't think you can deal with this. And it does get really close to killing them next turn. Winter Orb is a fun Magic card. It's just fun. Everybody has fun when you play Winter Orb. So now Wrath doesn't do it. Got there. Thank you, Winter Orb. Thank you, Winter Orb. I don't know that I love the orb on the draw, because like their deck is trying to go late game. If I had a few more elves, I'd be like, Winter Orb's the best thing ever. And I appreciate that it did win me that game. I'm wondering if on the draw I want the combo element back. because I get to look at one more card to find it. I mean, Channel is still an exceptionally powerful card. I could potentially turn 3 Woodfall Primus if I'm willing to play out the GSC. Didn't I do that in one of the earlier matches? I think I did. I think it was good. It's good. It's good. Okay. Yeah, it's basically a question of whether I'd rather gamble with Channel and Kozilek and understand that it's going to be a virtual mulligan otherwise. Being on the draw mitigates that somewhat, because if I have one of the other pieces, I'm a little more likely to find... If I have one of the pieces, I'm a little more likely to find the other one. But honestly, I think I like this configuration best against them. Like, I can power out a Mind Twist, and it can be good, and Winter Orb can certainly do stuff. You just have to be careful when you play it. Garrick and the Clamp. I'll give this a go. It's a natural order away from being beautiful, but it can do something. I like hands that have elves. I don't need the cards right meow. Right meow. I have you meow. This is a little bit of an issue if they plus it. Alright, you can have the Rev or the lands. They took the lands. Garrick, untap, play Winter Orb. That doesn't really pressure the Jace. I kind of like Garrick make a token. Although Garrick with the Winter Orb means I can just do a lot of stuff next turn, right? Like, I'm going to have all of my mana and they're going to be down to 2. Can I actually cast this next turn? Because I'll have another land drop. I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I can do this. Well, no, because they're not going to be untapped. I need the beast first. As long as they untap, I can cast the Avenger next turn, and I make them basically zero kill Jace on their own here. They get the cards, but that's okay. I think I want to try to land the Avenger and then the Winter Orb. I can handle Ashiok, I can't handle a Day of Judgment. Alright, and they took the Day of Judgment, which means we are not running out the Avenger of Zendikar here. We're going to get the Skull Clamp going. Unless they cast it right now. Hopefully they don't and we top deck like some artifact hate. There's certainly plenty of that in the deck. I think that's what they're... Well, we know they got another white source, so that's not going to take them off Day of Judgment. It's just a question of do they want to take a beating or not. It would seem they do. I'm pretty happy starting with the Courser. Looks like a mana leak. Could be a mana drain. That would be bad news beers. Just realized I'm wearing my headset from streaming and I'm not listening to music and there's no alerts to pay attention to, so I kind of don't need to be doing that. This looks like a mana, no, a cryptic command. Oh, wow, that's really good here. That's really good here. Because I don't get the mana from Garrick. That's quite a good play. So now that they've made it, do I want to slam the Winter Orb or do I just want to hit them with a Skull Clamped Beast? That's a really good play. And just not particularly great for me. Ugh. Cryptic Command, what a card. The Winter Orb doesn't stop them from wrathing next turn, so I think I'd rather have the Wrath protection and just get in for 5. Like, this kind of makes them have to Wrath next turn anyway, and then I can Garrick into Orb if that's what I want to do. All the while drawing some cards. I like drawing cards. Drawing cards is good, okay. Like, they know I have the Garrick. This is not a surprise to anyone. I kind of don't want to run the Elves into Snapcaster, but at the same time, if they run it into Snapcaster and flashback have Cryptic open, they can't have Cryptic open. 5, 6, but I can't do anything with 6 mana either. Alright, show me the Garrick killer. Like, you got another counterspell or something? Because I think you've got a Wrath next turn anyway. I can make dang sure you do if I uptick Garrick. Because just a slow overrun is probably good enough. Ah, Torrential Gearhulk. Cryptic command. What a card. That does not seem like a fair thing to be doing in the game of Magic the Gathering. That was, I suppose, the other argument. I always forget about Torrential Gearhulk. I had already F6'd, which was a shame because I would have liked to clamp away the elf. The only argument is that we can make a bunch of tokens next turn and kind of force them to Wrath, but I just lose all my value off of the Skull Clamp there. Man, that was a rough turn. I think I'm supposed to clamp away the elf. I can probably resolve a Green Sun Zenith for 3 and get my Reclamation Sage, blow that up, and then put the clamp on it if I want to. I think I want that dead. Oh, this is for 4. That's not what I want to do. Why is that for 4? Oh, because I haven't paid this yet. Because I think I need the Gearhulk gone. And I think we're going for a longer game. And I think I want the cards. Okay, well, at least they're out of the way, right? Green can draw cards, man. I don't know what their big giant win condition is. I'm kind of scared of it, but... Did they dig back for... Oh, well, they had some shuffles, so they might have gotten back to that Sphinx's Rev. Oh, no, dig through time? Sure. They can draw a lot of cards, but they got to have something to kill me with. Skull Clamp in this game has shown the power of drawing cards. Like, we're sort of keeping pace with the blue deck on card draw because I have this. Like, if this is a creature threat, I think I can force them to Wrath by playing the Avenger. Okay, forget everything I said about keeping pace with them. But all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have to play land and have to play this guy, but then we get like infinite card draw if we want it. They can draw their deck, which is a little scary, but I think this is a big enough threat that you have to Wrath it when you're at 8 life. I suppose the other thing would be like a Swords to Plowshares or Path to Exile, because the 0/1 tokens aren't really doing anything. It basically puts it in a position where we both draw our decks and then see who can win from there. But like, I guess just playing this, drawing 2 cards and then wrathing this away is fair. Because I think you have to Wrath here. Because that's too much card draw for me. That's like 14 cards. Oh, they have multiple Wraths. Okie dokie. That's not good. Especially with the lifelinker on board. And Ashiok. Womp womp. We need a Primus. Or Craterhoof Behemoth would have been pretty good, but yeah. That is not where we are. So it's a question of whether we want to draw out here or not. What am I looking for? Basically Primus, which I can't draw and cast this turn. But I think I'm gonna, oh, it's my draw step. I do have to go to my main step. I've got to go dig. It sucks that they're drawing a million cards, but like, what am I going to do about it? Draw 2 lands. I can't play the orb here. They've just got a better board state than me. This sucks because we need more cards, so we've got to unfortunately feed them cards. It is exceptionally unlikely that we would be able to mill them out. I should have stacked those the other way. I wasn't paying attention. I think I have a 1-drop elf left, don't I? Didn't we have 3? Yeah, we've got Arbor Elf, so I can go get the Arbor Elf and then natural order that into the Woodfall Primus. And then if they've tapped out, which presumably they will, that doesn't actually fetch anything anymore, then I can play the Primus and the Winter Orb as long as they don't mill it. And the Primus is almost fast enough to kill them. It certainly is if Ashiok's not on the board. Why do I have revealed cards? Oh, because I got them off of the Yavimaya Elder. Yep. Sort of Body and Mind would be an interesting draw too. That's my trick to almost milling them. The challenge here is we know they have a Wrath of God. So if they kill our Arbor Elf, I don't care about Jace. I just don't care about Jace. I think I'm actually happy to see Jace. Because I think that means if we draw a Sword of Body and Mind, we just win. Okay, the Wrath is gone. That's interesting. Multiple Wraths are gone. Alright, show me sword. That's not the sword. I think I still want Ashiok gone. It's got to be the sorry, I had somebody send me a message there. It's got to be the Primus kill Ashiok, I think. Because like this is such a good draw. The Green Sun Zenith is a good draw. The Fauna Shaman finds me nothing essentially. Am I worried that they're going to kill me with a Consecrated Sphinx? I mean, I am a little bit, but not a lot of bit. I think this is just Woodfall Primus. Take out Ashiok. So I don't have to deal with that. Equip it up. Jam that orb. And move along with my life. We can equip a sword if we draw one, and it's instantly lethal. Blech. Swords is no longer instantly lethal. And that's a real shame. I liked having that as my game plan. Now I have to draw a creature and put the sword on it. And I've got about 3 turns to do it. Swords was kind of the perfect answer for the Primus. Vindicated the Winter Orb. I mean, that's actually good in a way. But the problem is I need 2 draws to do it. I can get 2 draws here. I mean, blowing up their signet doesn't do anything. All right, they probably take out Home Slice here. Then I jam the Naturalist, blowing this up, and if I draw a sword, we can still win this. If they don't take her out, we've got a strong possibility to just find the sword naturally. Because I think sword is the only card that matters now. They're ignoring her. That means we could just draw the sword. That would be good because we'll have blockers for these 2 and go to 1. We need them not to have another creature, obviously. Not having a hasty creature means the sword isn't instantly lethal, but it gets us close. I could also draw a creature, right? Right? I don't think it's gonna work. That doesn't leave me enough to cast the Naturalists, and I need to cast the Naturalists. Because I'm dead on board if the Naturalists aren't here. This does leave me needing to draw the sword. And hoping they don't have another removal spell, because if they kill the Naturalist, we're just dead. I think if they'd responded with Unexpectedly Absent, I was dead. Because this puts me to 1. And I can make another token, draw off of it. I think I can find the sword next turn. I guess the challenge is they can block it with the Shambling Vent, and then I die. So maybe I'm not in as good a shape as I think, because I've got to be able to deal with the Shambling Vent too. I didn't quite think of that. I don't have cards in the deck that can deal with the Shambling Vent. Man, Cube is weird. Meh. That's probably not going to be good for me either. If I activate Freyleis's ultimate, we lose because we draw out. All right. We'll do what we got to do here. Craterhoof is still in the deck. We have a shot. I can't technically mill because of Green Sun Zenith. Yeah, we drew the sword and just can't get it through, which is really, really awful. Is there anything in the deck that gets it through? I don't actually think there is. Yeah, I don't have any evasive creatures. I guess I could conceivably draw something else that has trample, but like the Craterhoof and the Woodfall, I think are my only tramplers. I'm still going to look, because like there's no reason not to draw the last 2 cards at this point. Like Fauna Shaman doesn't do it. I should know what the last card in my deck is, but I don't. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15, 16, 17. It's not a land. Oh, they're milling me out with it. That's funny. I guess I can get milled out in that way. They're down to 2 cards too. That's funny. But I mean, there's nothing we can do about it here. I guess we'll get to know what the last card in the deck is. Mana Gorger Hydra. It works, it works. If we'd had the Tramplers left, like we were a little all in on this strategy, and I felt like we had game, but frankly, it wasn't even the Elspeth that stopped it. It was the Shambling Vents. Like we needed to get that sword in play and be able to get a hit in and get those last few cards. But that is Holiday Cube in a nutshell. Like both players dying to milling, and when you're at 1 and your opponent's dead to a hit from your sword, and there's just all this fun stuff going on. I love Holiday Cube, and I certainly liked this showing much better than the one from last week. So I appreciate you guys and gals tuning in. I'm going to get ready for some modern games tomorrow, and hope I see you on the stream. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next week.